What's good, man? It's OG Drill, man, and I'm here to talk about eternal life because a lot of people have a misconception on what it actually is. So a lot of people don't understand when they're trying to make life on earth, which is the realm of death, that they're actually being a Satanist. So let me break down something for you real quick. You have reincarnation, you have incarnation. A lot of times, this is what goes on. When you have incarnation, it's like your next life, but you're being closer to God. So you might not have as much purpose on earth as in doing the earthly things, but you might have a bigger purpose. Then you have the reincarnation, when you're actually doing everything all over again. It's just like recycling. It's just like when they take the material and remake it. It's the same thing you doing as being like esoteric golem over your head, as in saying you're putting responsibilities and duties onto something else. So you don't know what you're obligated to do besides what the physical world is telling you to do. So therefore, this will have someone coming back over and over. And this is a lot of reasons why now we have these different breakdowns or these different woke people, because they have different lives where they almost found themselves and got lost again, or they continue to find themselves. Now, when they're going down to details about it, y'all, this is where we got to get to the breakdown of it, because a lot of people like to live and they don't understand what's actually going on. Now, this is another reason why I be saying, don't get mad at somebody about your birth. Just accept who you are. Now, once you accept who you are, that's the very first part. So now you can start moving consciously, right? To being to the part of, okay, now this is who I am. This is what I'm aware to about myself. Now, what would I need to adjust, or what responsibilities do I have placed upon me, right? And this would be something like you say if you came in as just say a cancer, so with home and stuff, you know what I'm saying, it's close to home. So now you might find yourselves like, why do I have this type of energy? So instead of you getting used by, or instead of you just letting it go to rot, which you don't like, energy is not easy to be destroyed. So 9 times out of 10, it's not going to do what you think. It's going to end up being something that come back on you. So yeah, you have Western, you have Eastern, and you have these different type of astrologies where they're giving different breakdowns of how to look at something. But when you have to, the real truth about seeing it all is you have to put it together, and you have to be able to see and understand that all of this is just showing you different sides of the world, of different parts of what it was trying to show you, of the telling the time or the body in the temple. So a lot of people get confused on that, and they try to mix and blend them together without understanding the concept first before putting it together. You know what I mean? So then they can see the whole picture being drawn out. So a lot of times when we do it in our life is we miss the little small points of getting an understanding of trying to stand up for something. So instead of us, as in like the Western, this is the reason why they get a lot of fire caught to them, right? Because on the Western time, it's like almost like pandering to that zodiac or pandering to that planet instead of you. I mean, basically pandering to your body and your mind. So basically, instead of you learning how to utilize the mind or not be used by, or learn different ways to transmute it, you get what I'm saying? You just manipulating it, just saying like, okay, it's okay that I'm like this. It's okay that and it's really not, because this is the whole point of you coming back here. You know what I'm saying? You have certain parts that you had to do, and that others, you know, they have little things like that as well. But sometimes you have reincarnation where you reading what you saw, and then you have the light version of it. So when it getting down to this type of stuff, it's deep on your karma. So when we talk about the 12th house, this is when it started talking about the karma of the situation or what you just came from. Now, if you're a new spirit, of course, it's different, but this is still coming off of a past, which would be the mind in that case of what was attracting you as a spirit, which spaceships you liked it, which one seemed like it was perfect for you. Even if you wasn't picking on a favor, you just came to the first one that you came to. But getting deep into it, this will show you when somebody is coming into the world anyway. So this is already a form of them coming into the world. So it's an incarnation for that also automatically. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes down to this reincarnation, though, a lot of people don't understand of how to keep recycling. Like, you get what I'm saying? And it's crazy, because at the end of the day, you ever felt like, damn, it seemed like we're being spiritually held back, or why is it that we have to trust in a God the way they want us to, or a God that seems like that is like a material God, you know what I'm saying, of a physical world. And that's when you start realizing it's a golem and you being God. You get what I'm saying? And the thing about that is it sits there. It could guilt trip you and all. And this is another thing, you know, I done heard a couple people talk about, even Dolo, shout out to my boy, you know what I'm saying, talk about a long time ago. But at the same time, this junk be going on a lot. And I think he made a video recently talking about it. So it's like, it's just crazy, because it's like, You can't avoid it. So no matter how you try to go about it, it's always that little stuff that get people caught up. And they like to go to like, hey, what do you like? You know what I'm saying? So, and even that, they'll show you something to make you like it. So you got reverse psychology and psychology, which another thing of you breaking down the psychic or the psychic abilities that you chose. So when they're looking at the world, they don't give a damn what zodiac you is. They're going to make you formulate and find a way to be like these ones, even if you can't keep them on track because you don't have as much access to that power as somebody else might. You get what I'm saying? I don't mean you can't, but I just mean you'll have to work a little harder than they do. And ain't nothing wrong with that sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you'll learn how to control it, or you won't be used by it as much as them because they might not have the power of knowing their abilities, to knowing what to be responsive to. You know what I'm saying? Their responsibilities of being God chosen or God duties. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they don't understand what should I be doing as in work. But it's not talking about, hey, work in a physical realm. What about your esoteric currency? What about the currency you have put in with God in the trust? Because God will put you in a situation, and this is just a form of us pointing towards something. But it's not talking about how they like to, Gollumrise the God figure and put it as in like saying, hey, this is the God right here. And we see that it's two or different forms of God, but the way they put it is they want you to believe in this one form or these forms over here so they could get you to believe in some type of form, like I said in the other video. So once they get you to believe in the material, once again, they got you to believe in the Satanists and can now hopefully get you to come back over in this world because you know why? You don't want to let go of the material world. You're like an angel that lusted over the women of earth. So therefore you can't proceed to go to the spiritual realm outside of the earth realm. That's all it is, the earth realm. And then you got this right here going on, and then out here. You are not allowed to come outside of the earth to be able to look down or to be able to look upon and to see something else inside a realm, which is the earth that we're living in, the only physical realm that we actually live in. So we get a lot of times where they like to confuse people, even in NASA and stuff, about planets and junk like that. So people would actually think that it's other life on planet or question it, and therefore they like putting themselves basically out of the box. So even say a person that believed in that junk real hard, and when they come to this world, they might be someone that just, it's like they just can't get stable. And I don't mean like being part of a program, but I mean like even if they had to go to the program, even if as a wolf, they had to put on sheep clothing. So even if they're woke and had to act, spiritually woke, subconsciously woke, and had to go through this, they don't understand how to switch it out. You know what I mean? They just gonna come and just be full sheep, but the sheep that's like got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like running the wrong way of the herd. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it don't even know how to go along with the program. So they like to keep people like that and make this weirdo junk. So like now this they version of aliens. You get what I'm saying? This they version of spiritual humans, or however you want to look at it. So from a different perspective, it's like them kind of like fake cloning their own army. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because when you start looking at it, it's known as, if you're believing in the material, it's Satanism in some type of degree, no matter what it is. If you believe in that's what it is, you believe in that, okay, one day you're gonna die and become this bigger guy, this stronger guy, or you're gonna be in this palace just walking around, like, you know what I'm saying? It's already, you start to materialize a whole nother world where they could build something on earth that make it look like that, or they had it in so many movies in your mind that when you pass, this is the stuff that's being projected out of it. So a lot of times they know what mess with you in the future. They know it's not really that your eyes is seeing, it's really that your mind is seeing. So a lot of times when people say that, they get lost in third eye chakra and only want to stick to that. But it's other chakras, bro, and ain't neither one of them more important than another. So when you start looking at that, you start to lean with a biasness. So when I see the woke community, they always talk about that type of stuff, it's automatically like, okay, where y'all went at? For y'all, it's the same thing too. We already had a community where people wanted to be black rights and all this type of stuff there, and it didn't get us nowhere. You get what I'm saying? Or the brothers, or we own this, and it didn't get us nowhere. You get what I'm saying? It done been these multiple times, these wars, and a lot of times they just live in a 1,000-year war versus somebody living a 2,000-year war. So they live in a more recent one, but it's still outdated. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it still be a form of reincarnating. When they thought they was getting conscious to start being aware to a lot of stuff, they started getting too aware to the wrong things and didn't know what to do with all that awareness. So it's just like you're aware to it, but you're not doing nothing to get rid of some of it. To be like, okay, yeah, that's there, but I'm going to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. That's the reason why when in Western astrologers, they catch, like I said earlier, catch a lot of fire to them, because it's almost like they pander towards why you should do something and point fingers at everyone else. So at the end of the day, this shows you of how it really be inside someone's heart, bro. They be really messed up and be really bitter. And one thing about it, somebody that already feel like they're not going nowhere, they'll damn sure pull your ass down. You ever heard that saying of, you can't bring nobody to heaven with you, but somebody could drag you to hell? So it's like one of those type of things where you could do all you can to, you know, help someone, but if they don't want to take the ability to be responsible, to be like, hey, this your psychic ability. You need to be responsible for that. You need to know what's going on with that and where to put it at, so we can make us, so you can have your sole purpose. You know what I'm saying? So you can have a reason why you even doing this. So if you don't get to complete in this lifetime, you know what I'm saying? The next lifetime, you already got some steps ahead. You already got seeds planted. You ain't got to start all the way over, find the fertilizer and the soil and all that all over. So when they talk about the tree of life, it's getting down to the deep breakdown as well. So I don't put a lot of stuff in this video, but either way, at the end of the day, this just what it is, because I done been, you know, gone for a week. So it's like, I'm trying to slam it in here, man, because people need to hear this, and I don't know what it is. For 3 days, I just been trying to lay down and just let it go. And I also want to do a little thing on Young Thug too later on, about the little Satanist junk, about the sacrifice that Young Thug did. You know what I'm saying? That everybody just looked over. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to accept the Satanists or the rituals that some of these people do to try to make things come true for them. You know why? Because they have seen previous people do this before. That's another, man, I'm going to say that like I was saying, man. Either way, I almost went into that already too. But a lot of people might not even, like, it's messed up in the world, but a lot of people might not even have the attention span to even get to this. So it's messed up, but that's the reason why I don't even figure out a way to make it to a short. So now when I do the video, it's just bam, right to the chase. And then I could go into details on it. Now, you know what I'm saying? I learned how to utilize it too. So now I could go into details more into the video, so a person could get more on what's going on. So then after that, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? It'll have both of the algorithms you need to fill up, and also getting out there to, how I'm going to say, out there to a deeper understanding if a person don't have the time for it, even though it'd be really a attention thing. But anyway, I'm going to leave this right there, man. I'm going to go into the next video, man, because that junk already got me thinking about it, y'all. I got to go ahead and get to it. All right.